Welcome to What We Watch When We Drink, a Boozedancing Entertainment Network podcast featuring lively discussions about movies, TV shows, and anything else that we're watching while we drink our favorite boozy beverages. If you enjoy this show, please subscribe on Apple, Spotify, Stitcher, Google, Audible, and anywhere else you get your podcasts. You can also find us on boozedancing.com, and if you have any questions, comments, show or drink suggestions, email us at boozedancing@gmail.com. We'd love to hear from you.
Hello. Hey, how we doing?
Hello.
Hey.
I was just checking.
Hello.
I was just checking my messages.
Hey.
See, I get a lot of texts and stuff, and
Well,
I'm
you're
a popular guy. Apparently, we are live tonight. It's a whiskey. It's
We
a
are
whiskey
live.
Wednesday, is it not? It is.
Whiskey Wednesday.
Whoa.
God knows we need
Welcome to What We
We need
Watch
lots and lots of
When
whiskey.
We Drink. This is like the slowest rollout to a beginning of a show ever. Slowly rolling into this one.
No, this is what,
This
they,
is what
do.
they do? They do
This
this?
is what they do.
We
Yeah,
are
okay.
live tonight on where the YouTube, the Facebook, where else? The Instagram
The
Instagram
Instagram and the
and
LinkedIn.
the LinkedIn. That's a fair amount of places you can watch us. We are here again. It's been a little bit of time since it's been a minute, as the kids say. This is
Yeah,
what
sure.
we watched.
It's kid today.
This is episode 59? 8? 59.
59.
That's Jack Ham's number for all you Pittsburgh Steelers fans out there. Hall of Fame linebacker. But anyway, I digress. We are here to chat whiskey. We're here to just chat about stuff. And we're going to talk about a movie tonight. We're talking about a brand new movie that's just came out recently. But before we get into that, how are my fine partners tonight? How are we doing?
Thirsty. We're thirsty. We're very thirsty.
Michael, how are
okay.
you?
Living the dream. Living the dream.
Living
Just
the dream.
Every day.
Yes.
Living
So
Every day's a
we
gift.
are live tonight, and then this little disaster is going to be on a podcast in about a week or so, probably, where you can download it and listen to it at your heart's delight, wherever you want, on your phone, on your stereo, wherever you listen to podcasts. And let's see. Don't forget that these two gentlemen here with me do tons of reviews at the murder table, boozedancing.com. You can find it online, and they are reviewing all kinds of spirits, fun stuff, beer, wine, cider, mead, champagnes, whiskey. What else are you guys doing? Soda pops, cocktails, Girl Scout cookies.
We've done that. We have actually done that. This is
we
not a
review-
lie.
Potato chip.
With
With
you.
me, that's true. And you know what? By the
With
way,
you.
if you don't know already, it is Girl Scout cookie season. I have been inundated
Yes,
from
it
about
is.
3 different directions or more with options to buy. So help the kids out. Help the kids out, okay?
What if? Can I just give them cash? What if
You
I don't
can,
want
apparently. I found this out because I still have cookies in my garage cabinet from last year. So
Oh, and you
apparently,
wonder why you get raccoons.
that's true. And rats. So you can apparently just make a donation, but
I'm just gonna give them. You
Yeah.
know what? It's like I don't want the $10 in cookies.
there
Here's
would be
$10.
$6.
No.
No,
What?
You need one box of lemon cookies
True.
for the peated whiskey.
yeah, that's true.
Then the
This
rest
is
is
true.
just cash. The rest is just cash.
I can make my own lemon cookies and still give them $10.
I learned something since we're on the.
Is it the same? Is it as lemony?
It is. I can make it as lemony.
Apparently, they don't sell all the same cookies all
Yes.
over the country. Did you know that? Seriously. Yes,
No.
it's true.
I only live here. I don't know.
Yes, if you are, depending on where you are, they have different kinds of cookies. There are some common ones like the lemon drops, whatever they're called.
lemonades.
Lemonade.
No, what are they called?
Lemonades.
Yeah. But there
Lemonades.
are some
And the thin
there's
mints.
some regional
Thin mints
ones.
are the
Like
same.
if you're in Wisconsin, you'll get the cheese cookie. That's not true. I made that up. That's not true. But it'd be funny if they did a cheese cookie.
It's a Wensleydale.
Wednesday.
That's right. And if you're like in Texas, you get the beef cookie, whatever that is.
Ooh,
Yeah, that'd
that'd
be
be
kinda
nice.
good,
though.
yeah.
A brisket
That would
cookie.
It's a jerky.
It's jerky cookie. The jerky
Jerky?
cookie. Right.
It's a jerky.
That's right. That's right.
Um,
The Boy Scouts try to sell jerky in
this
Texas.
is true. Right. Okay. We are here again. and we are jumping into a movie that we've just came out. It's called The Real Pain, correct?
Oh, Real Pain.
A Real Pain. I'm sorry, A Real Pain. And it just was that in the theaters, or was it just on?
It was in the theaters. I actually saw it in the theater.
I did not realize that. It must have been there for a minute because I said that twice now.
It wasn't there for long. Yeah, it wasn't.
Because I watched. What was it on?
But it did okay.
Hulu? I mean, where was it on?
Okay.
Cinemax?
It's on Hulu now.
Hulu. That's where I watched it
right now.
And we are going to dive in to some brand new single casks. Am I correct? They're all single casks.
Yes. You know how new they are? They arrived on my doorstep.
They're hot off the press, as we say. Hot off the production lines. The Isle of Raasay, which is in Scotland for all you people that don't know geography. It's a little bit of an island. It's a drop of an island to the east, next door neighbors to Isle of Skye, where Talisker is. And
so wait, so it's east of Skye.
East of Skye,
but it's still the western coast
correct.
Of Scotland.
That's right.
Okay.
In the north, near the North Atlantic. Is that enough directions for you?
Yeah, okay. I'm just visualizing.
I'm so
I know.
confused.
It's like a little.
Is it a Hebridean whiskey?
I don't know if that would. I think it might be considered. It's an island whiskey. I don't know if it would be an Hebridean. I guess it would be. Yeah, let's say it is. Let's just say it is.
It would be
because it's kind of fun to say.
Yeah. Okay.
That's true. And these are all current. We have 3 whiskeys we're going to go through tonight from Isle of Raasay.
You should see a doctor about that.
You should see a doctor, like Dr. Bombay.
I got the Hebrides. Yeah.
You
know, by the way, you know what they give you for that? You know what they give you for that?
Well, it's the best. it's a cure-all.
It is.
These are all courtesy of our friends, Sam Filmus and Company at Impex Beverages. Thank you, Sam. Happy New Year to everyone there, the whole team. Once again, bringing us some wonderful new whiskeys to talk about, taste, and talk about the distillery a little bit too. Okay, so should we fill our cups with one of these wonderful little whiskeys first?
Yeah, let's do it. They sent us 3. We'll go with the first one, which is the Isle of Raasay 5-year-old peated ex-Bordeaux single cask. 18 of 725. What is that? What do you think that's like the number?
It's probably the number of the barrel, or this is the 18th bottle of 725 bottles, that can't be right because that's. A Bordeaux. That can't be right. Isn't a Bordeaux cask really big?
Yeah, they're gonna get hot sets.
But 725 bottles is a lot, if that's what that is.
Yeah, it is a lot. I don't know. I'm not sure. I don't know.
Yeah, it can't. No, it's not. It's got to be the.
It must be the number of the cast
number,
right?
Yeah. All right, I'm pouring it.
All right, I'm going to pour off a little bit. It's got a very pink color. It's got like a
Does it have a pink color? It does have a little bit of a pink color.
Like it's
for those watching at home.
It's Bordeaux-ish.
You think it's almost like a rosé.
I should say for those watching at home. If you can see that thing,
you can't really see it.
Can't really see it. It's kind of hard. There you go. Maybe.
You can't.
Yeah, a little bit.
A little pinky,
drop your cards.
Pinkies up.
Pinkies up. Don't forget to drop your little messages in the chat. We'll be happy to ignore them or respond. We'll see. All right.
Should I?
Yeah, you should before we clink.
Okay. So this is the Bordeaux. Okay, so the Bordeaux red wine casks we use are made from 2 oak species. Quercus patria and Quercus robur, I think, if that's how you say it, adding savory spice, whilst the red wine imparts tannins into the new make spirit. The casks were previously used to age 3 vintages of Bordeaux red wine, resulting in sumptuous, fruity top notes in our spirit like blackberries, plums, and cherries. It is 59.7% alcohol. There are 296 bottles.
Oh, there you go. So we know that that's not the number of
Yeah, that's got to be the cask number. Yeah.
296 bottles.
Okay.
Wow.
All right, boys.
Cheers. Clink, clink. There we go.
Cheers.
Wow.
There we
delicious. Go. Now, have we had many Bordeaux finished?
I'm sure. I don't think it's finished. I think it's aged because it did say they said the new make went into this.
There's a Glen Scotia that I have. That is a Bordeaux finish, I believe, but I can't remember too many.
Now, usually you get the sauternes or
Yes.
you get a port cask. You don't get a whole lot of other.
Yeah,
Well, unless you're
Oh,
Brooklotti,
that's
so
delicious.
they have a million different.
that's got some. That's
And
got some.
it
Meat
does
on
have
the
some
nose.
meat.
And what's the ABV? That's
59.7. That's a whiskey with a 6, my
Almost.
friend.
Well, if you're
Well,
rounding
round
up,
it
6.
wow.
Whiskey with,
Wow.
well, I mean, it's only 0.3%. So yeah,
there's
I'm gonna add that a little. Well, let me try.
no water till you try it.
No water yet. You're right. Right.
True. Your
I mean, it's very fruity on the nose. Very, very
yeah,
fruity.
getting like plums. That's nice.
And a little bit of peat there. There is a little bit of smoke.
Well, it's peated, right?
You know? Yeah, totally. All right, I'm going in.
The peat is very light. Wonder if they get where they get their peat from.
And
It is light.
And it's a 5-year-old, right?
It is a
yeah.
5-year-old, correct?
The peat's
It is
there.
more?
I do get. You know what?
I think it's more on the tongue, the palate, less on the nose.
What is? The
Yeah.
peat? Yeah. It's like residual smoke.
Yeah.
It's like the back
It's
end
residuals.
smoke.
It's like
The front end is kind of like a little tanniny. I get that little sweet fruit. I get like almost like, like they said, something like berries.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
it's like walking
Berries
by
and-
the fireplace the next day after you've had a fire. Not during the raging fire, but after it's all cooled down.
So it's smoldering ash.
Past smoldering ash, just ash.
Oh, it's just ash.
Just ash.
It's just ash. Oh, kiss my
Just my
ash.
ash. Woo. Actually,
I get a little barbecue note.
yeah, I do
That's what
too.
I'm getting. I'm getting like the
Little
burnt
Yeah.
ends.
Ooh.
It's like burnt ends.
How about it's almost like a if you could do like a berry barbecue sauce.
They have
Yeah,
that.
with a hint of smoke.
I've seen that. Yeah. Yes.
Really?
It's a plum sauce.
It's a
Barbecue with a plum
That's good.
sauce.
I like that. That's different. That's really, really different. It's
you know,
unusual.
looking down at it, I definitely see more. It's definitely looks more pink. Looking down,
Yeah.
I have a white keyboard, and it looks rich.
Funny thing about a barrel that had red.
I
wine in
know.
it,
Go
3
figure.
times.
Shocking.
So they used that barrel 3 times before they picked it up, right?
Mm-hmm.
Wow, that's pretty good. I like that.
That's pretty good stuff.
Wow,
Mhm.
that is really
Good
and
stuff.
it is not. It's way more drinkable than you think. 59.7 would.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because I didn't add any water.
No. This is really.
I did not add
This
any
is
water.
a-
That's nice.
I put some water in just to see what would happen, and I think it opened up more of the peat.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I
More
should
of
have
the
some water
barbecue.
here. Dang it!
But it doesn't need it. That was
This
good.
could be. This is one of
That's
one of those
tasty.
scary session whiskeys because you think, oh, I could drink this all night, and then you're like laying on the floor.
Yeah.
No,
You know,
Mm.
after like,
no,
few of
I
those.
don't recommend
God,
it.
this is delicious.
Wow.
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 Alrighty, let's jump into our feature film.
The movie 2024's A Real Pain.
Bingo.
You want the stats?
Stat 'em up. Give us a stat and give us
want some
a
stats? Okay.
a summary.
The
A
rundown.
rundown.
Yeah, just okay. Release date 11/1/2024. Budget, I couldn't figure that out. Gross box office USA and Canada 8.2 million. Opening weekend USA and Canada 228,000. Let's see. Gross worldwide 16.4 million. IMDb score 7.1 out of 10. Rotten Tomatoes 96%. Metascore 86. Here is the brief tagline. Mismatched cousins David and Benji tour Poland to honor their grandmother. Their adventure becomes complicated as old tensions resurface while exploring their family history. Director and writer Jesse Eisenberg.
That is the bare bones of that movie. That would be the barest of bones. It's true. And that's it.
Yeah, but that's
Yeah.
okay. That's
Is-
all you
is
really need to
this-
know.
Is this his first directing effort?
Oh,
I don't think so.
no,
I think he
no.
did another one.
Yeah, I think he's done a few
Hang
movies.
on. He directed 1 or 2 movies. He's been around for a long
Yes,
time.
yes.
Eisenberg.
He has.
I just didn't know if he's been directing.
I think he's done a few things. I believe. It's a good question. Let's check.
He's
Uh,
a little polarizing,
He
right?
is a little polarizing. Correct. I would think.
I kind of like him. Like you can see how he kind of gets not typecast. Well, yeah, typecast a little bit to a degree, but I think he's always very good.
I'm hit and miss on
He's
him. I mean,
effective.
we're jumping away from the story here, but I'm a little hit and miss on him because
Yeah, no, I get it.
Well, I don't want to get too much into him yet, but yeah, I think he is polarizing. We can talk about that why. So I don't know, where did this idea come from? Do we know where the is it a
I don't know where his idea came from. I'm not sure. I mean, I'm sure I could find some kind of facts and figures.
it's not a
but
book, it's just somebody came
no,
up with an idea.
I think it's an original.
Yeah.
Screenplay. Yeah, I believe it's an original screenplay, and he's got what, two? I mean, they got 2 Academy Award nominations
Right. I think that
for Best Original Screenplay and Best Supporting Actor for Kieran
Yep.
Culkin.
So maybe let's run through that. Just as you said, 2 maybe first cousins. Let's say first cousins about the same age.
Yeah,
right?
they are. They're first cousins,
and their grandmother, who was a Polish Jew, left them money. She dies apparently in New York, and she leaves them money to partly go see her home in Poland, in some, I can't remember what town in Poland. And she was, I believe, do we know that she was a Holocaust survivor? We don't know that, right? I don't know if they mentioned that or not. I'm not really critical, but
yes.
But she was in Poland, probably maybe post World War II. And these guys, they first meet for this big trip, organized by Jesse Eisenberg's character, with JFK. Let's say JFK. And
well, they say it actually wasn't JFK, but it's supposed to be JFK.
And Kieran Culkin is just been there for 3 hours. He's been sitting around watching people, hanging out, while Jesse Eisenberg is just freaking out because he can't get a hold of his cousin, and he's gonna be late. He's worried he's not gonna be on time to the airport, and he's worried that his cousin won't be there. And his cousin's there just hanging out, in flip flops and just kind of chilling. And that kind of sets the stage for these 2 personalities. One, hyper type A, wants control, extremely neurotic, about 15 messages? Like a mini Woody Allen, and our young Woody Allen, I guess. And you've got Mr. Culkin, who is total chill, just to want to see the world, want to check out the people at the airport. Hey, no worries, we'll get on. And that's how these 2 kind of get together for this massively huge trip to a foreign country, right? That it? Right?
Yep.
So they get across to Poland, and they're on a tour, we should say, right? They're on a tour.
Yes.
And
a Holocaust tour.
A Holocaust tour.
Well, it's not I mean, I guess, it's a Holocaust.
No, it actually is.
It's
a Holocaust tour.
And there's only 4 other people on this trip, and a tour guide who's a kind of a young guy from Britain, and they meet in the hotel in Poland, or I guess they meet at the airport, and then they get the rundown on this trip, and everyone gets to talk about who they are, and you start to see a little bit more about who these 2 characters are, who these 2 cousins are, and it's starting to. They feel like opposites by a long shot, right? And they're there for 2 reasons. They're for the tour to see Poland, and they're going to stay a couple extra days to go see find their grandmother's home if it's still there, right? So we're meeting all the family, we're meeting all these people, and immediately you see the differences between these two men. Kieran Culkin is just all over people, talking over people, getting very personal, whereas Jesse Eisenberg is just kind of in himself, embarrassed by his brother or cousin. This is just not what he expected, I think, traveling with his cousin. And now he's embarrassed because he's with these other people.
I think it's the opposite. I think it's exactly what he.
Oh, maybe you're right. You might be right. Yeah. Maybe it's worse. I think it's worse than he expected.
I think he's horrified because he's like, "Oh dear God, this is exactly what I thought was going to happen."
Yeah, and it's the beginning of both of them kind of looking at their relationship. That apparently they were very close when they were kids, for whatever reason, hung out a lot, and then and then
They're the same age.
same age, and then
They're the same age.
Very weeks apart.
Their fathers are brothers, and they were born the same year.
Oh, that's
and
right.
They used to almost like brothers.
And then for whatever reason, they went off on their separate ways, and we don't know. I don't remember what Jesse Eisenberg's like. Oh, he sells like digital advertising or creates digital advertising or something.
Correct.
And we don't really know what Kieran Culkin does, except he gets on in life. Somehow he gets around. He gets on, helps his friends paint, his house or whatever. He lives in Farmington, New York, right? And
Binghamton.
Oh, Binghamton. And thanks.
Binghamton.
And an uncle from Binghamton. And they just seem very opposite. And it's watching them try almost to recreate their relationship, but it's never going to be what it was. It's just these two different people with this singular task of seeing their grandmother's home. And it's odd watching them because they are very different. It's odd watching them interact. It's odd watching them interact with other people. The other group of people, the other four people are a couple who I think one of their parents was from Holocaust survivors, I think. A couple.
I thought the
Husband-
husband, his parents or family left before everything. They left.
Okay.
They came over like the early 1900s.
Okay. And then
they wound up in Texas.
right, and then there's a gentleman who's from Africa who converted to Judaism 10 years ago, and he is just completely in the Jewish experience, and he wants this to like kind of not complete as a Jewish experience, but he needs to see concentration camps and learn that part of Judaism.
Oh, interestingly enough, that guy's in that show we were watching, The
Yes,
Agency,
he is.
and he plays a completely different character.
Yes, he is.
He is.
Yep.
He's a bad
Yes,
man.
his
a very
name
bad man.
is Daniel. No, I'm sorry. His name is Kurt Egiwan. He's actually British,
Sure.
but he's been in British actor, and he was in House of the Dragon. So he's got a little bit of
Was he?
a lot of Shakespeare with this guy. Lots of Shakespeare.
He's good.
He
And
plays Osmond.
and the other person that's in this group is kind of famous herself.
Baby.
Yep, Jennifer Grey.
Nobody put her in the.
I think she was in the corner. I saw a corner.
Jennifer Grey is that fourth person in this group. She could be their mom. And she is, I can't remember, she's going through some of her own difficulties with her daughter, divorced.
She got divorced.
Yeah.
And the daughter married a rich guy.
She's Jewish too.
Snotty.
Right.
Right.
And so this is your kind of odd gathering of folks that you find on a tour all over the world. And they're going to explore Poland together. And we have a British tour guide who is pretty knowledgeable at all things Poland, apparently. Right. So
He's a scholar.
he's what? A scholar. He is a scholar,
He's
right?
a scholar.
So really, it's a movie about a relationship. Trying to find what these boys, once were boys and clearly close friends, what they are today, and if they can kind of rekindle that, and on this journey about learning about their family a little bit. So, what did we think about it?
I loved it. I thought it was great. I thought it was really, really good. And I liked that it was, what you don't see much anymore is a concise, well-told story. There wasn't a lot of waste. There was no fluff. They said a lot in a very short period of time. The two characters were established. You saw the highs and lows, their pluses and minuses, how you could compare and contrast them and all that good stuff. You got a lot of story.
There was a beginning, there was a middle, there was an end.
Yeah.
You don't get that. You don't get
It's
that.
a really good point.
Some movies don't have that.
I don't think there's going to be a real Pain 2. How about that?
The problem I have with the movie is that it was recommended that we watch it, and when I mentioned the title to my wife, she asked whether or not Angela was trying to tell me something.
No, not at all. Not at all. Not at all. You're a joy. Really,
It's the
you're a
movie
joy.
to watch.
No,
It's a
really.
real pain.
Really, no, you're a real joy.
A real joy. That's his
real
follow up.
No, Killjoy.
A real
Killjoy.
killjoy.
Oh, Killjoy.
Killjoy.
As opposed to Dr. Kildare.
So, Mike, did we
Kildare?
like it? Did you like it?
I thought it was really well acted. I don't know that I would have rushed out to see it, but I enjoyed watching it.
I would.
And I think the two leads were really good, but the other 5 people were pretty good too.
They were. I thought everybody
You know,
was
it wasn't like you just had superfluous people in the tour
Yeah.
van. The guy doing the tour did a nice job. The guy from Rwanda who wanted to see, you know, what happened, he did a really good job. The married couple, they were really good. I just thought everybody was, you know, together with that. And Jennifer Grey for being, I guess, maybe one of the most recognizable people in the cast.
Yep.
They gave her enough to do without giving her too much to do.
Yep. I think the other 4, 5 characters are there to kind of help us work through the Jesse and Kieran relationship and see their personalities in different perspectives. And I liked it and love it, but I think all of what Angela said is so true. It's and what you said, Mike, too. Beginning, middle, end, concise. You got the story is the story. We're not getting off into weird stuff on the sides. It's just a tight movie. It's very good. It felt like a student movie in some ways. It felt like a very small independent film. And
yeah, well, it was a small independent film, but that's not discounting a student film.
No,
I thought it was very well done.
I shouldn't say student. Small independent film, which I guess you said like it
Well,
is.
that's what it was. It was a small independent
It's not
film.
an action film. It's almost a there's almost a romance that between these two men who have lost touch to some extent and trying to get back together, and it's difficult. It's been a while.
I mean, I don't have like family here like that, like cousins that I grew up with and all that kind of stuff. So I don't have any of that. But I mean, I've known people for like 40 years, 40 plus. And you have those kind of relationships with people,
Sure.
you know? People that know how to push your buttons, you know what to expect from them, all that kind of
Yep.
stuff. You know, it's like anything. It's like, you know, and their family, which makes it even more.
I almost wish
just for family.
I almost wish that there were, you know, I don't know how long it was. How long is that movie? Hour and a half?
Hour and a half.
I almost wish there was more depth to them. Like it was a little bit longer and there was more between the two of them. I wish to dig a little bit deeper into their backstory and I think a little bit.
Know,
I mean, it's perfect the way it is, I guess, but a little bit more couldn't have hurt
I
it.
don't think so. I don't think it needed. I don't
Show them younger, growing up.
Yeah,
together.
a little flashback.
Or a little closer. Maybe show Nana.
Yeah, but
show
you
Nana.
can kind of get the feel.
You can.
know, like, and they were both like their grandmother's favorites,
Right.
right? And they had a really tight
Yep.
relationship with them. What did he say at one point? He's like, "Yeah, Nana slapped me one time."
Yeah.
You know, or whatever it was. It's like, oh,
They could have been brothers.
and all
They
this kind of
have to be
stuff.
cousins. It could have been a brother story. It could have been a cousin story.
Yeah, I mean,
You see two different people in different parts of their life, and they both have their own issues that they can't come to grips with, or maybe they can. We find out that Kieran Culkin's character had a suicide attempt of some kind.
yes.
And we don't really know completely what that's all about, but that it definitely puts a darkness to the film and to the story. And Jesse Eisenberg, I think, he seems to me, a few things I've seen him in, he plays the same guy. It's the same guy in most of his roles, and he's very good. He's very
To a degree.
he's very good at it, and this is one of those. This is really a perfect vehicle for that kind of character, who's just so different than this other person. He's like a bit manic. He's neurotic. Needs power. Needs to overthinks everything, and kind of looks down on people too, and especially his cousin for not being the way he wants him to be, and which is the total arrogance actually.
Yeah.
He's in some ways he's not likable, I think.
Who?
Jesse Eisenberg.
As a break.
Yeah, I could see him. I could see him being a little annoying.
Yeah, he's not.
See it.
And I think that's the contrast.
Yeah.
Is that the cousin is extremely likable, but he's manic depressive. He committed suicide, smokes dope on his mother's couch, and doesn't have a life.
Yeah.
And Jesse Eisenberg's character is not so likable, but he's married, has a wife, has a kid, has a job, lives.
Well,
in
he pretty much said it all in the one scene in the restaurant, right?
Yeah.
He's like, he wishes he had the charisma that his cousin had. It's like he drives him insane.
Yeah.
But he wishes he had half the talent and half the
Yeah. It's right. He really looks up to this kind of
and I guess there's a bit of resentment,
totally,
a little bit of a chip on his shoulder because he doesn't have that personality.
Yes. He
he's got everything else going on, but he doesn't have.
He doesn't
have that.
Yeah,
thing.
he resents Kieran Culkin's character, and Kieran Culkin doesn't resent his cousin's character at all. He
accepts
him for his. He wishes he was different. He wishes he had more fun in life. He wished he showed more emotion. Wish he cried. Wish he was more emotional and looked at darker times in a different way. He's not the same kind of person. They're very different, and so it's not necessarily a happy film.
No, bittersweet
is a good way to look at it. Yeah. So I loved it. I liked it. I didn't love it, but I think all your things that you've said are very dead on, and each character was well done. All these characters.
I think it's going to get better on a rewatch.
Maybe, yeah.
I still can't get over that. That's Kieran Culkin.
Why?
Where that's Macaulay Culkin's younger brother. He was in some of the Home Alones. He was in Father of the Bride and Father of the Bride 2, and She's All That. And you saw him as a little kid in everything, and now 42 years old, and it makes me sad. I don't know what happened there.
Yeah, well,
it's just amazing that he's held it together, made it through being a child star, and he's got an Academy Award nomination.
Right.
That's amazing. To go with the Emmy Award nomination, the win he had before.
So as I said, Jesse Eisenberg kind of plays the same character. It feels like, which probably feels like almost like that's who he really is. I kept seeing an alternate version of Roman. What was his name in Succession? Roman Roy here, and if Roman Roy had taken a different turn in life, this is who he is. He's the same. It's the same. It's almost the same personality. It's a little bit. It's a little bit destructive. It's a lot of fun. It's a little dark. But there's this ongoing depth that he wants more. He wants to know more about life, and take away the money. Maybe it's the same guy, and he acts the same in a lot of ways. He doesn't care about what he says when people are around, and
who he offends.
His rules are different than everybody else's for sure.
Right.
Okay. Why don't we move?
You want to take a quick break and we'll move on to number 2?
Definitely.
Okay, let's do that. We'll take a little break from the movie and we'll go for number 2. So number 2, also Isle of Raasay. Again, there were 3 in total. This is the 5-year-old peated ex-rye single cask. So let's see what we got here. All right, I'll read a little bit about it. The most common types of casks used to mature Scotch whiskey are ex-bourbon barrels made from the most prevalent species of North American white oak, whatever, Goertius alba, as well as the classic vanilla flavor that you get from this type of oak. We're looking for a spicier black pepper note and more of a butterscotch flavor in our ex-rye cask matured spirit. The barrels come from Woodford Reserve Distillery in this instance. And it's 60.6% ABV, and there are 177 bottles.
Yowzer.
So we don't see, well, we do now. There's more interesting casks experiments in Scotland, and rye casks have not been the norm for sure. It's usually bourbon, right? So
the only one I remember is that one, the Johnny Walker. They did the rye cask. They did a Johnny Walker. They did a Johnny Walker rye cask. Yeah. from what I remember a while back.
I thought there was a Kilhoman too.
Maybe, probably. But anyway, let's get into this one. Oh, different smell. This is like sweeter.
No more cheers.
Oh, I'm sorry.
You want to cheer
You're
again?
absolutely right.
How many cheers do you need, man?
I'm sorry.
Cheers.
I'm sorry.
No more
Sir.
cheers.
Cheers, gents.
It's
All right,
pretty
let's go
light.
down on this one. It is.
It's 6 points on it.
Well, I mean,
No, but I mean
just
on the
there's
nose,
there's not
I'm afraid to go in.
there's not a big floral presence. There's not a big
Yeah.
smoke presence.
No.
It would take. It would.
Like
I would be
vanilla,
really.
maybe a little bit of
I'd be
cinnamon.
just lying if I said I thought it was peated, because I don't get any peat off it.
Yeah. No, I don't get the peat at all either.
It's a little medicinal. That's all I get.
It smells good. It smells good. I'm gonna go in.
I'd love to smell it, but it's just not in some big flavor profile.
Wow, that's so different from the other one.
Yeah.
It's like you'd think they used a whole different cask.
You think that? Wow, crazy! Whoa.
You think one was from a wine barrel and this one's a rye
Wow.
barrel.
So this one is 60%. This one definitely got 60.
Both 5 years old. Same amount of time in whatever cask it was in. Totally different.
Totally different whiskey. This is
whiskey.
spicy, peppery,
Yeah, I'm not getting a lot. Yeah.
and a lot of heat.
Ooh.
No, I'm sure.
I just got a little something like I almost got like a toffee,
I think we'll
a
get
little bit of like sweet, like caramel or
the second
toffee.
one's going to give me more flavors here. Wow, I really like it though.
That is nice.
And you're right,
That's pretty good.
It is Wordle's. It's like Karen Culkin and Jesse Eisenberg in this movie. The first two whiskeys here, they are very different.
Right?
They are very different.
Right?
Try putting some water in it.
Yeah, that's good. I like that.
Try putting water in it.
I like that. I'm kind of torn. I'm trying to figure out because we got to rank these things when we're done. I'm having a hard time.
I like
It's so
it better
different.
with
It's almost not fair. You know?
I think it's a little better for me anyway.
Yeah.
Open it up a little bit.
It's
with water.
dry.
I think you're getting crackly there, Aaron.
Am I crackly?
Maybe. I don't know. Keep going.
Right.
I think you're okay.
It's
We'll see.
drying. It's a little salinic, a little saltiness on the side of my tongue. Finish is not as long as I expected.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's all the front third.
Yeah,
Interesting. With some water, I almost got like a little tobacco.
I
in it.
was
Yeah.
I was going to just say that.
Yeah.
I was going to say tobacco because I wasn't going to say smoke because it wasn't. It's not peaty.
No, it's not super smoky. No.
I'm curious about the.
Little Connecticut wrapper.
I'm curious about the peat stuff. I wonder what it's probably a pretty low level of peat, and maybe it's not an island peat. Maybe it's a highland peat, so it's leaving more mellow. It's definitely not in your face peat.
That is delightful. I like it. And I like the Raasay bottles.
They are really interesting. Do you remember, Ange, when we were in Chicago? I think I was the Chicago Jubilee, and Isle of Raasay had a booth, and no one knew who they were. How many years ago? That's probably 7, 8.
Oh, that was 96. No, 2016.
16. So that's 8 years ago.
No, was it 16? No. It was later than that.
I don't know.
Probably like 19. It was like the last whiskey jubilee in Chicago.
So 5-6 years ago, and they had a booth, and there was this poor guy behind the booth. I don't know if he's still with the company or not.
I vaguely remember
Nobody
that,
knew who they were, and they had. I think the very first whiskey they came out with was called almost like Ardbeg. It was like very young. It was like the first.
Yeah.
It had no age statement, and it was brand new, because I think I saw on the website they started in like 2012, but they didn't release anything until 5 years or so later, maybe 2014. So they're really, really young distillery, and now I think they're winning awards.
Huh? It's good. It's really, really good. Mike's got some kind of I don't know what kind of mouse he's got over there. That thing is I think he may have actual mice.
Mice? What are you talking about?
I don't know. Notice he put himself on mute. Lots of clicking.
It's a hammer.
It
That's
is
what
a
I use to
hammer.
get the keys. I use
It
a
is,
hammer.
it is beyond a hammer.
Yeah, I
Oh
have
my
the
God.
touch of a blacksmith.
Uh-huh.
All right.
Madness.
So let's talk about
right, so
let's
anyway.
talk about these as we like to do. Let's talk about the characters a bit, the actors.
Okay.
So let's start with
The
the
cast.
cast. So let's talk about
You want me to run down the cast real quick?
Sure.
Just to
Yeah,
start
go ahead.
off. Okay, so Kieran Culkin plays Benji Kaplan. Jesse Eisenberg is David Kaplan. Banner Eisenberg is Abe, which apparently is Jesse Eisenberg's son, who's the little kid.
Oh,
He's,
yeah.
FaceTiming him. So it's actually his son. Jacob Gasowski. These are some little receptionists at the hotel, I guess. That was just a small part. They put everything in I guess order of appearance.
Yeah.
So okay, Will Sharp as James. Daniel Oreskes as Mark. He's the older guy on the tour.
Yep.
Liza Sadavi is Diane. I guess that's his wife. Kurt Egiawen is Eloge.
Right.
He's the guy from where is he from? Where was he from again?
Ethiopia, I think.
No, it wasn't Ethiopia.
In the show, he's from Rwanda.
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 Right,
That's
right.
right.
The Rwandan.
Right. Yeah. He's a survivor of the genocide. There. Yeah.
Right. And then Jennifer Grey.
And I'd like to just stop there for a second and apologize to all of those people because I don't think we pronounced any of their names
we have
correct.
not.
I think
And
I said
Jennifer Grey.
Eisenberg correctly.
We might have.
And Jennifer Grey.
I might have.
And
Cards and
Jennifer Grey.
letters to
we got one
Boozedancing.com.
right, Jennifer Grey.
And then you missed Jennifer Grey. Did you mention?
I said Jennifer Grey, didn't I?
And
Jennifer Grey is Marsha.
and what's the
Marsha.
the tour guide's name?
Marsha.
The actor?
Oh, it's Will Sharp.
That's Will Sharp. Okay, so let's start with Mr. Eisenberg. So I really don't know a lot about him. I've seen some.
I've seen him in a lot of
But
stuff. Actually, I think the first movie I ever saw him in, there was a movie with Campbell Scott, and it was called Roger Dodger.
Roger Dodger. That was his second movie.
And I think
second movie.
Yeah. I really like Roger Dodger. He was like I don't know if he played the nephew. I think he
played Nick.
He was Campbell Scott's nephew.
He played Nick.
And he was basically and what's his name? Campbell Scott is basically kind of giving him the lowdown on the ladies and how to be like a player. So, and it's all bad advice, but it was kind of a fun movie.
Shockingly,
yeah, it was kind of a fun movie. But he's good. I mean, I like Jesse. He's been in a lot of stuff. He's got the two. What are the two zombie movies? The ones with Zombieland. He's got the two Zombieland movies.
Okay.
He's got that movie where he plays at an amusement park, I think, Adventureland.
Yeah, Adventureland. Yep.
Right.
Yeah.
Last year or 2 years ago, I forget what year it was. He was in the one on the show on Hulu with what the hell was it called? Something is in trouble. Fleischman is in trouble.
Oh, Fleischman in trouble.
Fleischman is in trouble.
Yep.
Well, really good. I thought he was great in that too.
And he's in the two Magic movies, the Now You See Me.
That's right.
It's the ensemble cast. And the big thing he was in was Social Network, where he played a character who I think he actually might have the same personality disorder as Eisenberg's character.
He has a meta personality. Yes. I
Yeah.
think Social Network is the first real big leap into stardom, I guess. Right. So
he got Academy Award nomination for that, and Academy Award nomination for original screenplay.
I did not realize he was in a Batman movie. He was Lex Luthor.
Oh, that's
Batman
right.
Batman versus Superman.
He's Lex Luthor. Yeah.
And Justice League.
In the one with Ben Affleck. Yeah.
There's Justice League, Zack Snyder's Justice League. He's been I didn't realize he had those three behind him. And then television wise, something called Get Real. What was Get Real? 22 episodes of Get Real. And then Fleischman in Trouble. So he's mostly and a fair amount of theater work. But it's mostly he's a film guy. And I'm guessing is he a New York guy? I'm guessing he's probably for New York. Yep, New York City. Interestingly enough, he has Polish citizenship. Yeah.
Really?
Go figure. Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah. He's a
better not let anybody hear about that. You're going to send him back.
We don't know. Hopefully, he wasn't born here.
He might not. There's no birthright citizenship
Yes.
anymore. So
He's done
Nah, they
send
won't
him
send him
back.
out.
he's done a fair amount of writing. He's got he's written a lot for the New Yorker, and he's a huge basketball fan. He's a big Knicks fan, so he's done some Knicks writing. Wrote for something called McSweeney's magazine, and a fair amount of different reviews on restaurants and things. So he's got this other little life of what the heck is this? What if I hadn't written that fan letter to Dan Marley in April 1993? I'm fascinated by what that might have been. These are a collection of what if short stories compiled by editor Mike Pesca, published in Under Further Review. So he wrote some story called "What If I Hadn't Written That Fan Letter to Dan Marley, who played with the Phoenix Suns back in the 90s." Huh. So now I need to go dig back into his writing and figure out what his writing's all about basketball, because he's got definitely a lot of basketball stuff on his resume. Very interesting. Okay. Kieran Culkin, part of the Culkin plant.
He's got a long career.
Rory Culkin, his brother. Macaulay Culkin, his brother. Bonnie Bedelia, his aunt. A New York City. Yep.
Really?
A New York City person himself. And boy, where do you want to start with his career? We talked a little bit. Home Alone, Only the Lonely, Father of the Bride, Home Alone 2, Father of the Bride 2, She's All That, Cider House Rules, Scott Pilgrim versus the World, Infinity Baby, Father of the Bride Part 3. Nothing good. And then a fair amount of TV, not a whole lot, but here and there, a little bit of TV. He was in Fargo.
And also theater work.
Yeah. The big thing is Succession and Robot Chicken.
Yeah. I think Succession is really what kind of
that changed his life.
Kind of boosted everything. Yeah,
it changed his life.
I think that's going to be the new Wire.
It's a really interesting thought.
Yeah. That everybody good is going to be like, oh, that guy was on Succession. That guy was on Succession.
Well, didn't Jeremy Strong get an Oscar nomination too?
Yes.
Yeah.
So he's had a really interesting career too, and a bit of theater. Glengarry. 2025, he's doing Glengarry, Glen Ross. So
yeah, Kieran Culkin apparently has a really, really big theater like background. And remember, what was the woman? Who was the woman on Succession? Jerry.
Mm-hmm.
Well, her husband's a playwright. Her husband is what's the guy's name? I can't think of his name now. He wrote like that movie with one of the Afflecks. Something but Manchester by the Sea.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I think that's her husband. He's a playwright, and I think he's directed and written and all that kind of stuff. So, and I believe Eisenberg and her have done plays on Broadway together.
Kenneth Lonergan?
I think.
Kenneth?
Yeah, that's it. Ken Lonergan. Yeah. So he's got a bit of a history.
All right.
He's good. He's really very good. And I really didn't pay much attention to him. I didn't really pay much attention to him till Succession.
Yeah, I would love to see him like in a straight comedy. I think he'd be very funny, and it's just a straight comedy. But he's good. He's definitely good. Jennifer Grey, kind of iconic. She's sort of she's not like I don't know about her. She's probably won a bunch of awards, but you don't think of her as being like this award-winning actress. She sort of has made fun of herself, famous for Ferris Bueller, Dirty Dancing.
Wow, Dirty Dancing! Come on.
I know. Golden.
What?
She won a Golden Globe.
I don't think I saw that. Is that new?
She won a nomination for a Golden Globe for Dirty Dancing. Red Dawn.
Hey! Newsflash.
Yes.
Newsflash. Yes. 4 in a row for the Sixers.
There you go. Look at that. They're hot. In fuego.
There you go. Look at that. Anyway, what time?
Red Dawn, The Cotton Club. What else? A Real Pain. Done a bunch of TV, lots of TV. Daughter of Joel Grey. That's always my favorite thing about her. What was that?
Nepo baby.
Yeah, total Nepo baby. What was the thing about her her nose? Wasn't there something about her nose on some? She was in a show.
Well,
She was in a TV show, and
She-
she had changed her. She got the nose job, and then she would like. It was like this ongoing joke about it that she was in on. What was that? Anyone remember? Oh, here it is. I found it.
well, one of the things
I was in the ABC sitcom It's Like You Know, which satirized her much publicized nose job as a running gag. There you go.
Huh.
1999.
It's one of the things they said she lost work because she
Yeah.
got it done.
Yeah.
Right.
Because she no longer looked distinctive. She looked like
Yes,
everybody else.
right.
That's right. See, she should have followed Babs's lead.
Yeah.
Right? No nose job.
Yeah.
Wow.
No nose job for Streisand.
That's funny.
You should have Streisand. She
She
should
was
have Streisand.
also a voice in Amir's.
I mean, and when you think about it, right? It's like you're in some big movies. You're getting the parts. Why change anything?
Yeah.
Yeah.
If it ain't broke, don't fix it.
Right. Yeah.
I mean, I get it. I guess it's hard, but
I like her.
still.
I think she's great. She was in this show called Red Oaks. That was on let's say
Who was she in Red Oaks?
she was the
I saw the
wife.
first
I think
season.
she was the wife of the heavy the comedian.
I don't remember it at
Oh,
all.
crap.
Oh, Reiser?
Yeah, Paul Reiser.
Oh,
Yeah,
Paul
I think
Reiser.
she's the wife of Paul Reiser.
Okay.
Yep. So she's like this upper class woman at tennis club lady. She's
Right,
funny.
right.
She's very good in the movie. In a real page, she's
She
she's
is.
really good.
Honestly, I didn't realize it was her. at
Oh,
first.
really?
Until I saw
That's
the credits.
interesting.
Yeah, I didn't know.
Anyone want to guess how
I've
old
seen
she
her
is?
I don't know. She's probably our age.
64.
Late 50s? Is she
yeah,
really?
Little,
Yep.
yeah, a little one.
Huh. Okay.
All right. Next, we have this gentleman, Kurt Eguian. I'm sorry, Mr.
Eguiwan?
I'm sorry,
Sure.
Kurt.
Spell Eguiwan?
English actor,
Sure.
English theater and television actor, most known for playing various roles in Shakespearean plays at the Globe, including Othello, and as the Grand Meister Orwell in HBO's House of the Dragon. He's actually from Cameroon, so he's going a little bit out of his league playing the Rwandan refugee.
Yeah.
Totally
Totally different.
Well, what's the in the agency? Is it Sudan? Is that where they are?
Yeah,
right. Yep.
Sudanese?
He's in Slow Horses in one episode.
Is he?
He's in that show Chaos that just got canceled by Netflix, I believe. He's going to be He's going to be in Andor, which is the Star Wars show on Disney Plus.
Oh, season 2?
Season 2, yes. Yep. So he's done a bit, but the big thing is he's just got all this Shakespeare behind him. Oh my God, jeez! Henry V, Richard III, Twelfth Night, Measure for Measure, Othello. He's a pro. This is a pro.
Yes, he is.
Liza
Those Brits, I'll tell you.
Sadovi, British actress. She was in Sweeney Todd, Prime Suspect.
Another Brit?
Yeah, another
My
Brit.
God.
Yeah. EastEnders. Yep, she's had a little bit of this, a little bit of that, and her husband in the show. I remember from her from another movie, or it was a series on Netflix about a Jewish family in Poland, in Warsaw, that what was that called? And they have to escape before the Nazis come. And she's the mother of this family. I can't remember the name of the movie. It's not listed on her, at least on her Wikipedia page. And then her husband's played by Daniel Oreskes, Law and Order, mostly Law and Order, a lot of Law and Order, and various things. So it's a good cast. Oh boy, he's really had a long TV career.
It's very good.
Yeah.
Very good.
Yeah,
cast.
very good cast.
And then you got Will Sharp.
Who I didn't look up. What's Will Sharp's background?
The only thing I've seen him in, he was in the second season of The White Lotus.
Oh wow.
Yeah, White Lotus.
And
I don't know.
He's married to Aubrey Plaza.
Aubrey
in-
Plaza.
Really? Oh, in the show.
Yeah. In the show.
Oh,
In
thank
the show.
God.
Yeah, he's married to Aubrey Plaza.
You
in
know
the
why?
show.
That's
Yeah.
you heard about Audrey Plaza's husband, right? Her real husband.
Yeah.
Yeah. He
You really pissed away.
committed suicide a few
Oh,
weeks ago. yeah.
okay. Okay. Yeah. But so Will Sharp, and he was in White Lotus. He was very good. Played an American in White Lotus. and he had the little thing with the other guy, the guy who was in The Gentleman. I can't think of his name. He's in the Range Rover ads now. And there was a whole thing with the wife and all that stuff. But he was good in the White Lotus.
Who was not a gentleman.
No, he was not.
No.
So it's a great cast. It's a really good cast of this movie. They're all they work well together, and they really the secondary cast really, I think, helps.
Cask? You say cask?
Why wouldn't I say cast?
That's a Freudian slip.
Why wouldn't they?
Number 3.
Why wouldn't they help out the Culkin Eisenberg cousins? Kind of help figure out their relationship. I think that's. I guess we talk a little bit about the end of the movie here. The end of the movie, the boys leave their tour, get to their grandmother's home, and it's a little anticlimactic, right? They're not even sure it's the right place, and they can't get in. I don't know if they wanted to get in, but they can't get in. It's not. I don't know what they thought it was going to be, but it's just a house. It's just like a tenement building, and
yeah. But you know what though? I think it was more realistic.
Oh yeah, totally. I agree.
Like, you didn't watch the second season of The White Lotus, but there was this whole thing where F. Murray Abraham is Michael Imperioli's grandfather, I think, or father. Yeah. No, he's his father, right?
Father. Yeah.
Yeah, and they go back to Sicily. They want to see like where the family lived and all this stuff. He's on this big nostalgia tour. He goes to this house where I guess his family lived. I think he said that they were related, and it was not at all what he expected.
Yeah.
They may have come out with guns and like chased him away. It was
it's totally and the houses are totally unimpressive.
Yes.
Where you're expecting it to be the family castle.
I don't know.
If there was a castle, they wouldn't.
Yeah, I don't know what you can't tell what they were thinking, but you can tell they're a little disappointed. Probably like a lot of people when they go back to their grandparents' home that they've never seen, and you don't know what you're.
What's that phrase? You can't go home again.
Yeah,
is that the phrase?
And they have a little bit of a disagreement with a neighbor who thinks they're probably dubious about who they are. A couple American guys just standing in front of this tenement building, and then they're done. They've saw the place. They've seen where their grandma lived, but it's the journey, right? It's not about where they get. Yeah. It's about the journey, and in the process, they maybe figured out the relationship a little bit more, figured out themselves a little bit more, and then long flight home, and you think maybe are these guys going to be close again? Are they going to get back together? Not really. Now the happy ending would have been that I think Jesse Eisenberg asked if Culkin would come back to his apartment and have dinner with his family and see his little cousin. And he says, no, I'd rather just hang out in the airport, and probably speaks volumes about their relationship at this point in their life. And he's happy. Culkin's happy, just kind of doing what he does. And I think Jesse Eisenberg is dissatisfied with it, with his relationship, as he kind of started off being dissatisfied. He ends being dissatisfied. And so there's no closure for him so much, I think. Whereas Kieran Culkin doesn't need closure. He's pretty happy.
I think that the one thing that made me think he got a little bit of closure is at the very end, when he comes home, he puts the stone he was going to leave as a memorial marker at his grandmother's house on his own front step. And then he walks in and he's greeted by his wife.
That's a good point.
And I think that's,
he's brought a little,
this is my life. I got a wife and kids. And
he's brought a little piece of grandma home. And that's it. And that's the end. It's a very simple story. A very simple story with characters with a lot of depth, and who don't. It's not necessarily a happy ending, super happy. It just is. That's kind of what life. And that's kind of what life is.
It's life, right? I mean, you go on your little trip and then you go back to your life.
The fake Hollywood happy ending would be that they go back to he goes back to Jesse Eisenberg's house and they have dinner and they hang out and they have beers and then
the kid loves
Jesse Eisenberg
says,
hey, you know what, you can work at my firm, and we really need a creative guy who could come up with some ideas on digital marketing. Well, that's not going to happen. That's not real.
And it ends with a musical number.
Yes, right.
Busby Berkeley finish.
Berkeley, yep.
You know.
So that's it. It's a nice movie. For sure. So cheers to those guys. Just a reminder. Any other thoughts here on the movies, guys?
No.
Well, we could wrap it up in a minute. We still have
Yeah. We're not done. Reminder to everybody.
We're wrapping up the movie.
Reminder to everybody that this is welcome to What We Watch When We Drink on the Boozedancing Entertainment Network. This is a live stream. It'll be a podcast. Be waiting for it. It'll come out next week, and you can download it. And then don't forget to watch these boys doing their thing at the murder table weekly. I'd say weekly, maybe more than once a week.
Yeah, roughly. Try to get 1 or 2 a week, but
reviewing all kinds of interesting spirits. Okay, one more.
I'm trying to go for daily. I think daily
would be great for you. Your liver couldn't handle it.
You know where I live.
All right. Our last whiskey from the Isle of Raasay, from our friends at Impex. Take it away, Gilo.
Okie dokie. This is the Isle of Raasay 5-year-old peated Chinkapin single cask. Cask number 19/73. A North American oak Chinkapin. I'm not even going to try the Latin pronunciation. With a high char and high toast. Gently impacts color and flavor without overpowering the maturing spirit. The high char increases the internal surface area of the cask, allowing more of the spirits to come into contact with the oak, resulting in a much darker color. The high toast caramelizes the natural sugars in the oak, adding lovely sweet caramel and smoky barbecue flavors to our spirit. 61.7%, 265 bottles.
Alrighty.
All right,
That's a pretty good number. Ooh.
That is a good size, man.
Maybe a little bit more on the nose of this one. Maybe.
Cheers, boys.
Cheers.
There we go. Oh, ow, that hurt. Oh, wow. That's got some vapor.
Yeah,
that one got me. That got me right on the nose.
Yeah, definitely more vapor for sure.
Yeah.
And I think you get a little more of the wood.
I'm like really trying not to read the notes that are right there. It's really hard to like, you read this thing and you get those little leading the witness. You don't want to lead the witness.
Make the print smaller, then you can't read it.
True.
High char. So this is kind of, you should have a little bit of you got the peat plus the high char, so should be a little smoky.
It's kind of fruity though. It's kind of fruity on the nose.
A little bit.
All right, I'm going to go in.
I went in. Wow.
That tastes like hotter. It tastes hotter than the other two.
It builds.
It is slightly hotter, but it builds.
It definitely builds.
It's a poofta. Yeah.
I'm letting that settle in my mouth for a sec here before I hop in for another run with the table.
I had to go for the second one just to see if it was just as hot the second time around.
If you charge your mouth. It's not as drying as the last one, as the rye cask.
No, that's the no.
No, it stays hot.
No, I didn't find the second one.
It stays hot.
I didn't find the second one that drying.
Oh, I did.
And I think it's more of the whole mouthfeel.
This one,
the rye was front third.
I'm getting some cinnamon.
Maybe it's the alcohol doing it, but it's more coating of the mouth with all the heat.
What's your phrase, Mike? Front to back?
Front to back.
This is like the whole
it's
thing.
The whole thing.
Some hit like little spots.
Front to back.
I don't not like it.
Much better.
I don't not like it. I like it.
Put a little bit of water in it.
If I had water.
That changes it too.
Well, you are in California.
We don't have
so
no water. No agua.
no agua.
It's that smelt.
No
You
mas.
have the smelt problems. You have all the water you want.
No mas.
This one's growing on me. Even though it's really hot, I like it.
You push past that first hot, and then it's just really a good solid whiskey. It's a session whiskey.
Yeah. Put you.
If your session was to be face down somewhere.
Huh. That one actually, it's a little confusing to me, that one, a little bit.
Yeah.
I don't know why. Huh.
It's got like, I don't know, it's kind of fruity. It's spicy.
Definitely
It's got some
spicy.
cinnamon. I don't get a lot of smoke.
No.
I don't think it's super
No.
smoky.
It's really interesting that all of these are noted as peated, but I don't know that I would.
Well, maybe it's not in the strictest, it's not in the Isla sense of
No,
peated,
but-
but there is some smoke.
Yeah, barely.
Yeah, it's a nice gentle, like a nice round kind of. You know what? I think it's more like for a person that doesn't like the Isla smoke. This might be a nice transition.
Most definitely. These are not.
They're like not abrasive.
No.
Polar, this is
No,
more,
I mean, I think so. We're near. It's near Isle of Skye. It's near Talisker, right? Isle of Raasay, and Talisker's got this kind of roughness to it and peatedness to it, peatiness to it, and you're drinking a Talisker when you drink a Talisker, right? It feels like it's of the area, it's of the island, of that part of the world. This is almost could be more Highlandy. Yeah, it's not that they're soft and heathery, but it's more more center of the country kind of feel. Even though that's not a thing anymore so much with distilleries, but it's definitely not Isla, and I don't even think I would consider it an island whiskey, even though it comes from an island.
Mm-hmm.
But I like it. This one is just.
That's
this
nice.
one is just a little.
I can't prioritize because they're so different. It's not like, I mean, they're completely different. I mean, they're three completely different casks, and it's not a finish. This is where they were aged, right? All of these.
Yep.
They were 5 years in
all 5 years. Yep.
Right. So it's just different strokes for different folks. Just depends on what you like. I like them all.
I can pick my favorite because just like children, you do have a favorite.
I think I may have liked the rye. I thought maybe it was like the most like not every day, but one I could see drinking more regularly.
Yeah, and I thought that was a bad one. I think that was the third one for me.
Really?
I like the other two.
I like them all. I'm not saying I'm picking.
No, just in order. I would rather go with the Chinkapin first, then the Ex-Bordeaux, and then the rye.
Can you guys hear me?
Yeah, they're good.
Can you hear me? Can't hear you.
You can't hear. What happened?
You're back.
We can hear you. Oh, you're not missing anything.
Quick, talk about them.
That's right. What did you do? What happened? We were doing so well. Why don't you just unplug the mic?
He can't hear you say that.
Oh. Unplug the mic. How about if you just unplug the mic? Oh no, he left. Yeah, all right, let's keep talking about these whiskeys. Let's keep talking about these whiskeys. Yeah, I don't know. It's hard to say. Like the Bordeaux one would be, I don't know. Like, what would you have that with? Like, if you were going to have it, would that be a dessert one? Or is that more like I think you know what? I'm thinking aperitif.
Yeah, I think you could start. I think with the fruitiness, you could probably have that with meat.
Yeah,
have that with a steak, or have it at the end of a meal with a good dessert. The Chinkapin, that's to me, that's the best of the three. Not that they're a bad one. I just like that one the best.
No, I get it.
And we've had a couple of other Chinkapin whiskeys,
which
I've really enjoyed that flavor. I don't know what it does. I can't explain, how the finish works.
Yeah.
But I'm intrigued with what's going on, and it seems like that might be the new thing that more people are trying to put Chinkapin into what their whiskey said. So whether that's an abundance of the oak, or whether that's just experimentation going gangbusters, I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. It's different. It's very. They're all very, very different. They're all very different. I mean, I wouldn't even know. I mean, score wise, I'd go anywhere from like, I don't know, 89 to 91.
Yeah, I think these are all A minuses.
Yeah, I think they're all pretty
Maybe.
delicious. They're just different.
I
They're just very, very different.
Yeah.
I think the rye one is probably the most one that you could have maybe the most often. You know?
Yeah. If you were having it more than once, I would agree with you. If
Yeah.
you were just having one,
We can.
yes.
What? All right. I'm gonna leave you. I'm gonna put a little note there. Let's see. Unplug the mic.
Well, he is older,
I
so
know.
maybe he's got some problems
Whoops.
with hearing loss.
That was the
You
wrong
never know.
one. Private chat. I don't know. Maybe he does actually.
You know what it is? It's all that listening to Rush. That'll ruin your hearing.
That's all those concerts.
Oh, jeez.
It's all the concerts.
That'll-
It's all the concerts. But yeah,
That
I don't
ruins
know.
everything.
It's. I think the middle one is. I think the rye one is probably the most. Is probably the most everyday dram if it's possible
Yeah.
for a
60.6
for a 60% whiskey.
Just a little breakfast
You know?
whiskey. Start my day.
Yeah, I don't know.
I am back,
Hey, you're back.
You can hear us?
You okay now?
but I can't hear you.
Oh, okay. Well,
Let's see here.
yeah, I don't know. I keep telling him to unplug the mic. I've tried 3 different ways to tell him to unplug the mic.
I think
He's
he
not
did.
listening. Did he? I don't think he did. So, yeah, I don't know. Hard to say. Tough call. I think they're all excellent. They're just different. And I don't think I could rank them. Like you said, it's like picking your favorite children.
None of them. They're
So,
all just,
okay. So if you had to
milk
rank them, what would you do? I think
The
you said it,
children or
but
the
say it again.
whiskeys?
The
The
wow.
children of the whiskeys.
No, you live with the children. The whiskeys.
I would go with the Chinkapin,
Okay.
and then the Ex Bordeaux, and then the Ex Rye.
Okay.
But it's like, one's a 91, one's a 90.5, and one's a 90. The difference for me isn't enough.
Yeah. I got you. I got you. Aaron, are you back?
I'm back. Sorry about
Can
that.
you hear us?
Who knows? I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yes.
Totally. Everything's
Okay,
good.
okay. So where were we?
So
What
we're
are the
ranking
whiskeys?
the 3. Ranking the whiskeys. Which, if you had to order them, I think they're anywhere from an 89 to a 91 if you're going with a score. But in terms of favorites, I have a hard time ranking them because I think they're all different.
I would go the X Rye, the X Bordeaux, and the Chickapin. And the Chickapin I can't figure out still, but I really liked that middle, that rye.
Yeah, I thought that is like, if you can have an everyday drinker that's a 60% whiskey,
Yeah,
that might be it.
yeah, I agree.
You know?
I agree.
If you are an everyday drinker at 60%, you got problems. You
Yeah,
got
but I'm
some
not.
serious problems.
I only drink with you
Serious
guys.
problems.
So,
Serious
that's why we
problems.
could never go full odd couple, Mike, because we're
Serious
drinking every
problems.
day.
I don't know what the problem with that is.
I
don't
don't have
know,
a problem with that. I would
I
have
don't
a
know
problem.
what that is.
It would be bad. It would be very bad.
I'm calling that retirement.
There you go. So,
Did we want to talk a bit about the memoriams tonight, or we'll save that for another?
Yeah, I
We'll
made
see
a,
if
I
it-
made a,
Oh,
I made
go
a
ahead.
quick
All right,
list
go ahead.
if you want to do it, or we can hold off till next time. Whatever.
well, you know what? Given that the movie was based upon the death of was kind of, the spark was the death of a grandmother. Maybe that's not so
I
bad.
got a lot of grandmothers here.
Okay, go ahead. Want to just run through them? We'll do it quickly. What do you
Mike,
got?
do you have it?
Wait, is this 2024 or recent? What do you got?
2024.
Yeah,
Okay.
we didn't do it at the end of the year, so we should do it 24th.
2024. Jimmy Carter.
That's a good. Not an actor.
Not an actor, but a celebrity of his own.
Celebrity,
right.
yes, celebrity, yes.
Celebrity.
Yep.
Linda Lavin.
Good one. Yep.
Childhood. Alice. Who didn't watch that show?
She was like I watched a lot. I was a fan. Yeah.
Yeah. That was what Alice in One Day at a Time. Were
Oh,
probably
so
back to
wait,
back
was
for
that Ray Romano's show? Her last show then?
No. Oh, I
No,
don't know.
she was. They were
No,
actually,
that one that was just on with Lisa Kudrow.
They were.
Oh.
They were actually about to reboot the Golden Girls
right.
with 3 gay men
What?
and Linda Lavin.
What?
And Linda, it wasn't going to be the Golden Girls. It was like
Yeah.
Golden Girls, where it's 3 gay men and Linda Lavin,
Wow. That's interesting.
and she was unbeknownst to her, was diagnosed with lung cancer and died very quickly.
Married to Ron Liebman forever.
Ron Liebman for a bit, yeah.
A long time.
Greg Gumbel.
Greg Gumbel.
Three-time Sports Emmy winner.
Sportscaster.
Yeah.
Great sportscaster, yeah.
One of Angela's favorites, Barbara Taylor Bradford.
Who's that?
He really enjoyed her 40 best-selling novels, the romance novels. He's a big fan. He is.
Oh, wow. Oh,
he's a romance novelist.
I can tell.
That's me, man. I'm Mr. Romance.
You can tell.
That's my middle name.
He's got a little tattoo BTB on him. He's a big fan of Barbara Taylor Bradford. Game show host Chuck Woolery.
Chuck Woolery.
Original host of Wheel of
Fortune. That's right.
He asked for a raise, and Merv Griffin fired him.
Yep. And look what he lost. Well, he was also the host of the Love Connection.
And Lingo.
We'll be back in 2 and 2.
Somewhat of a character actor, Tony Todd. He played Candyman. If you saw him, African-American gentleman, if you saw him, he's a very severe-looking gentleman.
Yeah.
You would not want to mess with him.
No. He was,
3-time Daytona 500 winner, Bobby Allison.
Huh?
A near EGOT, Quincy Jones.
Wow.
Quincy
He
Jones.
won an Emmy. He won 28 Grammys, and he won a Tony Award.
Yeah, Quincy Jones
is the father of actress Rashida Jones.
Rashida Jones, right. Married to
Peggy Lipton.
That's right. Yep.
Lipton. One of the Tarzans, Ron Eli, passed away.
Huh.
A Rookie of the Year and Cy Young Award winner in the same year, and also won the World Series that year. Anyone? Fernando Valenzuela.
That's right, Fernando.
Oh,
yes,
Fernando.
Best left-hand pitcher of the 1980s.
Yeah. Dame Maggie Smith, another near EGOT. She did not get the Grammy to complete her EGOT. Won the Triple Crown of Acting.
You love
she had 2 Oscars, 4 Emmys, and a Tony Award.
By the way, do you have
she
EGOT?
Won 6 Olivia Awards.
Do you have an EGOT tattoo? I think you do.
I would like to get them all.
You know what? You know, like the SPQR, where they used to have like the Roman soldiers.
That's what I got.
EGOT.
That's right. I got EGOT.
I got you. You'll have none of them, but you'll get it. But you'll get the tattoo.
So Maggie Smith went from being a somewhat of a bombshell as a young actress to being Downton Abbey. She's the old woman in Downton Abbey.
Oh, wow.
Career went full circle.
Hey, she kept working though to the end.
John Amos.
Oh yeah,
John Amos.
He's one of the last people from the Mary Tyler Moore Show, Good Times, Roots, West Wing.
He was
Die Hard 2. He was in everything.
Yeah, I think he played football.
Don't forget Coming to America. Don't forget.
Coming to America too.
Right? You know, they had the Golden Arches. We had the Golden Arch.
I got a McDonald's.
They're
McDonald's.
They're McDowell's. They're McDowell's.
McDowell's. There's no sesame seeds on my bun. Gina Rollins. Four-time Emmy winner.
Nick Cassavetes' wife, right?
Yep.
Nick Cassavetes' wife. She was in The Notebook.
Not Nick Cassavetes.
She was
John
Gloria.
Cassavetes.
John Cassavetes. Yep. Nick Cassavetes is the son.
Right.
Shannon Doherty, around our age. Richard Simmons, around Aaron's age.
Hey now.
In his mid to late 70s. Dr. Ruth Westheimer.
Oh, no.
Oh, yeah, Dr. Ruth. Yeah.
Shelley Duvall. This guy was often considered one of the greatest actors to have never been nominated for an Academy Award. Donald Sutherland.
Yep.
He's in The Dirty Dozen, Ordinary People, Kelly's Heroes, MASH, Space Cowboy, 6 Degrees of Separation, a whole bunch of other movies. Never nominated. Morgan Spurlock. The guy who put together Super Size Me.
Yep.
Too
many Big Macs.
Jeez, he wasn't that old, was he?
53.
Yeah, young.
Dabney Coleman.
What a great actor.
On Golden Pond, Tootsie, Mary Hartman, Buffalo Bill, Slap Maxwell.
What a great actor.
And at the end of his career, he's in Boardwalk Empire.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
Oh, that's right. Was he the colonel or whatever he was? What was
he?
The
colonel.
The head of the NORAD. He was in War Games.
Right.
Yeah, War Games. Yeah. And the country music, Toby Keith made some
Red Solo Cup
songs as well as a bunch of Red Solo Cup.
Oh man.
Richard Lewis.
Well, we can talk Richard Lewis.
Yeah.
A whole episode.
We talked about him before when he passed away.
We did.
Lewis, Carl Weathers.
Ian and
David Soul, who played Hutch in Starsky and Hutch. And the last one, Chita Rivera. She won 2 Tony Awards. She was the first Latina to get a Kennedy Center honor and the Presidential Medal of Freedom. She was nominated for 10 Tonys over a 6-decade period.
Wow, that's amazing.
So in 6 consecutive decades, she was nominated for Tony Award.
Wow.
I think that's what you call prolific. Is that what that is? Prolific? Is that how that works?
Yeah. All right, so I got a few here for you.
Sure.
Carl Weathers. Did we say Carl Weathers? You didn't say
Carl Weathers, yeah. Carl Weathers.
Mojo Nixon. There's no Mojo Nixon. This very famous, kind of like a cowpunk rock and roller guy. Richard Lewis. You mentioned him. Steve Lawrence. Stephen Eady.
Stephen Eady passed away. Oh.
Yeah, that's right. Eric Carmen. Famous for, we talked about this, Footloose. He did the music for Footloose. Emmett Walsh, who, you know.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, I didn't know
when I think of movies and you guys, I think of a guy like Emmett Walsh, because
you're going to put the whole fist in there, Doc?
You guys just know who Emmett Walsh is.
Oh, my God, yeah. He's
all
fantastic.
All the things he's been in, right? So many things, right?
He's the character's character actor.
Did you mention Lou Gossett Jr.?
No.
Lou Gossett Jr. Let's see. Heisman Trophy winner, not a Super Bowl winner, and a murderer. Anyone kind of guess?
Gee.
OJ passed away?
O.J. Simpson. That's right.
Wow.
Found not guilty. Not guilty.
One of my personal favorites passed away from SCTV, Joe Flaherty. Passed away this year.
Oh, yeah, Joe Flaherty.
And let's see here. I had a couple of
Guy Caballero.
Caballero.
The station owner.
Yes,
The station owner.
Roger Corman passed away this year. Roger Corman, the director of Silence of the Lambs.
What? Roger Corman?
Roger Corman.
Director of Silence of the Lambs?
I think he was a producer or director, yeah.
Yeah, but he was I think he did a lot of producing, but I don't think he did Silence of the Lambs.
He was producer.
That was John. That's what's that guy's name? I can't think of his name now, but whatever. It'll pop into my head.
Bill Walton passed away. Noted NBA star, Hall of Famer, and TV personality. Jerry West of the Lakers, NBA logo, the logo. Willie Mays, Donald Sutherland, as you mentioned. Martin Mull, another great comedian, famous for so many things, including our friend's TV show, Angelo.
Yeah. The one with, I know who you mean. God damn it. I can't think of anything. I'm sorry. Andrea Savage.
Andrea Savage, thank you.
Yes, he played her dad, right?
That's right, yes.
Yeah.
Bob Newhart. There's some big ones here for me personally.
Oh, yeah.
Bob Newhart was like, the first Newhart show was great. The second Newhart show was great. Best friend of Don Rickles for 50 years. There was a great YouTube documentary by what's his name? Who did all?
We're the worst, aren't we?
He did Freaks and Geeks. What's his name?
Oh, Judd Apatow.
Judd Apatow. It's it's a love story about the Newharts and the Rickles family. It is so wonderful. Bob Newhart was just a great comedian. Never did any, his stage stuff was never blue. He was just the everyman guy. He was an accountant who became a stand-up comedian. Let's see.
And at the end of his career, what is he? He's Professor Proton on The Big Bang Theory. He's like the Bill Nye the Science Guy for Sheldon's character.
That's right.
And he makes several appearances on the show.
Yes. You mentioned game show host Chuck Woolery. Don't forget, game show host Peter Marshall passed away.
Oh, I didn't see that.
Phil Donahue, maybe the beginnings of daytime talk show host.
Daytime talk show, yeah.
Yeah, who kind of revolutionized what daytime talk shows were.
Yeah.
It wasn't about entertainment; it was about news and information and some crappy stuff too. James Darren James Darren, hot throb of the 1960s.
Hot throb.
Hot throb.
Heartthrob.
Right.
Heartthrob.
Sergio Mendes and Brazil 66 passed away. James Earl, do you mention James Earl Jones?
Nope.
James Earl Jones, famous
Wow.
for so many things, right?
Luke, I am your father. Come on.
Darth Vader. Some guy
Darth
named
Vader.
Darth.
This is CNN.
This is CNN.
If you build it,
What did I hear? Did he give his voice to Lucasfilm so they can use his voice in Star Wars forever? Is that
Really?
Is that, I believe.
Will the family get residuals? That's the question.
That's a good question.
Were they paid up front? One or the other?
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Tito Jackson, one of the Jackson Five.
Another Jackson.
Yes. I can't believe Maggie Smith.
You said
Is
that.
that it?
Oh, you said Maggie.
Yeah,
Chris
yeah.
Christopherson.
Oh, yeah.
Pete Rose. Dikembe Mutombo.
Oh, yeah. That's a good one. Yeah.
Welcome to the NBA, Mr. Mutombo.
Terry Garr.
Oh, that's right.
And somebody else from Tootsie.
That one hurt.
Danny Coleman.
Terry, that's right. Terry Garr hurt. That was a tough one for me.
Thank you, Doctor.
This is a tough one. This one goes back a little bit. Earl Holliman. Does anyone know Earl
From Police
Holliman?
Story, right?
Yeah, that's
Police
right.
Story?
That's right.
Right? Police Story?
Yep. Police woman.
Police woman.
Story?
Police woman.
Yeah, with
Police
Angie
woman.
Dickinson. Yep.
Angie Dickinson.
Did you mention Michael Cole from the Mod Squad? Michael Cole from the Mod Squad. We mentioned Peggy Lipton earlier, right? Jimmy, that's it. That was my little list of the ones that.
I got nothing.
Yeah, you got nothing. You don't care about people.
Never did.
Never did. So that's every year we go through this, and it's amazing. You know how many people are just kind of falling off.
Nobody gets out alive.
Nobody gets out alive. Nope,
Nobody
not
gets
at
out
all.
alive.
Well, we did it. We did it again. We had to go through the list of the memorial list for 2024. Hopefully, the list is shorter.
Pour out the residual of your favorite and
cheers to all of them.
Final toast.
So many great folks from different parts of the entertainment business. This has been another wonderful little episode.
Oh, one thing. So one thing. So the movie, we thumbs up.
Thumbs up.
Yeah.
Yes, thumbs up.
Yeah.
Thumbs up. Okay, just check.
I guess we should come back to the movie.
Yeah, a little bit.
A real pain thumbs up, and I would even suggest that a thumbs up on these I Love Raasays as well.
Absolutely.
They're three different whiskeys.
They're completely different.
Yeah.
You'd think they use three completely different casks.
You'd think that these single casks would all be, the same, but they're not. They're actually different.
I would think they were aged a different amount of time. That's how different they are.
You do think
like
that?
aged somewhere in there?
No, I guess they taste like they would be, but they're.
I got it. Yeah,
They're all 5 years old. It doesn't seem like they should all be the same age either. For the
age is just a number, my friend.
They're very, very good. Very, very nicely crafted.
No, I'd like to say that, but every day when I get up, it's not.
It's not a number. It's not reality.
It's not just a number. It's a cruel
reality. That's for sure. So thanks again to our friends at Impex Beverages for these I Love Raasay single casks. Was there a name of the series of these? Was it just did they have a series for these?
No, I think it's just their new release.
So these should all be out, I would think, because they're your better spirit shops and probably online somewhere. I'm sure you can get these guys.
Did I mention that the bottles are beautiful?
The bottles are cool glass.
You did.
Weird things. Yeah. Very different than your standard whiskey bottles.
Yeah, they're a little different.
So we have done it again, fellows. What we watch when we drink. This was episode 59, out on a podcast coming soon. Gosh, it was just fun getting together. We'll be back together in another couple weeks probably. We'll talk
couple weeks.
Whiskey, talk more TV and such, or movies. So
episode 60 coming up.
60.
And most important,
yes,
go Eagles. Go Eagles.
Oh yes. We should mention this. This is very important. The Super Bowl is 1.5 weeks away. I guess. Let's say 1.5.
Yep.
Yeah, that's about 1.5 weeks away. So the two fellows on this live cast above me on this live stream here are in the Philadelphia area, as we all know, and they are, I'm assuming, big Eagles fans. They'll be the ones jumping up on cars when the Eagles win. They'll be
climbing the light poles. I'm going up a light pole.
They will
no
do
matter
that.
how well they've greased it.
They will be lighting up porta potties. They will be flipping cars. You will see them prominently, probably in a Pennsylvania jail near you. So careful out there for you Eagle folks.
EAGLES.
Yes,
Eagles.
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 Yes.
IGGLES. Eagles.
So we know that Travis Kelce brings his girlfriend to all these Kansas City Chiefs games. Who's the most famous girlfriend, wife of a Philadelphia Eagle?
I have no idea.
I asked because I don't know.
I don't know either.
I don't know either.
Don't know either.
Wow. That's kind of sad, actually. I was hoping I'd get
I think they keep them low profile.
Yeah. Isn't like, doesn't what's the quarterback's name?
Jalen Hurts.
Doesn't he date like Cher? Is he dating Cher?
I
don't know.
That's Cher.
No.
Well,
Cher.
Good luck to the Eagle fans in our midst. Good luck to the Chiefs fans who are not watching actually tonight. So Super Bowl, we'll talk Super Bowl when we come back, and we'll have some more whiskey and more good TV talk, movie talk.
Excellent.
All right.
And pitchers and catchers report in 2 weeks.
Oh my God! Is it 2 weeks? Is it really 2 weeks? I think I heard that
the
first games are in like
2 weeks,
28 days or something like that.
Yeah.
Dodgers on the way. Our world champion Dodgers going to Japan to start the season, which is weird too.
You think they're going to sell out?
More players.
You think they're going to sell out?
Yeah, I think they'll sell out. Right? They will play. I believe they're playing the Cubs in Japan.
Shohei, baby, Shohei
and Roki and who's the other guy? Yamamoto, thank you. Right. And our second baseman's from South Korea. So we have a whole contingent from the Pacific Rim. We are
that area. Yes.
Whatever works.
All right, fellas, we are done. Cheers.
Right,
get out of here. And I believe there's some credits to play.
There are. Cheers, boys.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Quick.
If you enjoy this show, please subscribe on Apple, Spotify, Stitcher, Google, Audible, and anywhere else you get your podcasts. You can also find us on boozedancing.com, and if you have any questions, comments, show or drink suggestions, email us at boozedancing@gmail.com. We'd love to hear from you.